This video, I'm going to show you how to find your vibration and how to evolve it. And by the end of this video, you will know what that is, and I'll show you exactly what to do. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this one, I'm going to be sharing with you that of a way you can calibrate your vibration to know where your vibration is. And I'm going to be showing you how to evolve it to the next level, because one of the things that we decided to do when we were having this kind of experience is we forgot who we are. We forgot that we are eternal spiritual beings, and we forget that so that we can come here to have certain experiences. Now, the truth of the matter is that every single person, and especially every person watching this video, you are that of a high vibrational being. And the only thing that keeps you from feeling that high vibration is your belief patterns, is certain identities you have that don't serve you, it's certain things that have happened in the past that you think make you who you are. And what happens is when we have those things that happen to us, many times that will become a part of our identity. So a lot of raising our vibration is actually just letting go of the things that keep us from feeling in a higher vibrational state. And you'll find that in general, the more you go about doing your purpose, the more you end up in this higher state of consciousness. And the more you let go of especially the pain of the past, things that have happened to you, that's when things really get taken to the next level. And you're able to feel high all the time. Without substances, you won't need to drink or smoke or do anything. You'll just naturally feel that way. That's our natural vibration. And that's where we're headed as well. On the planet, as far as the transformation that's happening, more and more people are becoming aware that they can feel 100% whole and complete, and you can be passionate about what you do. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing something that's a little bit different than anything I've ever really shared before. And it has to do with understanding archetypal energy and vibration. So archetypes and energy. So first off, I went to a Bashar conference at the beginning of this year, maybe like April. And one of the questions I asked him is I asked Bashar about archetypes. Now, archetypes are in the books The Law of One. It's like the whole fourth book talks about archetypes. And I find it very fascinating. These archetypes are within our collective consciousness. So imagine it like we're all here right now. And we have within us, we're all connected to this divine mind. We are all connected. And there are these symbols in our collective consciousness that exist within every single one of us that have existed for thousands of years that we tap into. And some of these archetypes will serve us, and some of these archetypes will serve us, but in a way that we may not actually prefer. And we take on archetypes many times without even knowing it, because it's so patterned within our collective consciousness. Now, I asked Bashar about this, and what he said was these archetypes do have an impact on us, and they're different frequencies. When we align our identity and our thoughts and our emotions to these frequencies, we then take on the characteristics of them. So this is about being aware of those archetypal energy. For example, an archetype may be the joker, the mother, the child. An archetype may be the victim, the king, the queen, the dictator, the boss. These are all different archetypes. These are like different roles. And you'll find that sometimes when you fall into these archetypes, you start to develop the energy of it. There is sometimes something will happen in your life, and that'll cause you to then start to identify with an archetype without even knowing it. For example, someone gets promoted in their job, and before they saw themselves as a coworker, all of a sudden they start to envelop this new energy, this new vibration. It's very natural if you're in that archetypal energy, and it just happens naturally. However, many of us are in archetypal energies that we're not even aware of. And that's why in this video, I'm going to show you the 4 different levels that almost everyone will go through in their process of spiritual evolution. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing with you what these 4 levels of vibration are, how you can tell which level you're at, and then what to do to get to the next level. So let me share this, and also it has a lot to do with understanding our spiritual progression. These ones that I share with you, some people may end up in one of them their whole entire life without evolving to the next. And these aren't the only 4 archetypes, by the way. These are just 4. Think about every personality has a certain vibration with it carries. There's a different vibration of someone that's a victim, to somebody that's like a hero, somebody that's accomplished a lot and that's overcame some type of challenge, you see? So these are the 4 main states, the 4 main vibrations. And after this, I'm going to share with you a way that you can take a quiz and you can calibrate your own vibration. Plus, you'll be able to get one of my meditations that will help you to evolve to the next level. So you'll be able to calibrate it, see where you are, and then get prescribed a personal meditation for you to raise it to the next level. So I'll share with you more about that in a minute. Now, first off, here we go. So there's these 4 different levels. Now, the first one is the child. So the child is one that we all have when we're born and we're growing up. We're like a baby, then we're a child. And what happens is every single one of us will normally look to our parents. So we look to authority. We look to authority. We do what we're told normally. In this level, we're very dependent. We're very much in survival mode. And we're very dependent. This is a lot of times where I find a lot of people are in autopilot mind. They're just doing what they're told. Sometimes even they'll still have the child archetype, the childlike energy. You ever known somebody that maybe still lives with their parents? Not that that's the only barometer, but I know some people that are 30-something years old and still live with their parents, and they're still really dependent on their parents. And they're in the autopilot mind. They may be working a job, and maybe their parents no longer tell them what to do, but maybe their boss tells them what to do, and they look to authority for approval. They look for validation from other people. This archetype is sometimes what a lot of people stay in their whole entire life. So there's a certain vibration that's carried with this. And one of the things about this that's important to understand is that what you can begin to do is you can break out of the system of what you're told. You know, that's when you start to become a rebel. And that's when you start to go on your own path. Sometimes being a rebel is a way for you to transition from this one to the next one. So the child is one that normally we will be in this archetypal energy, especially between the ages of born until about 14 years old, 13 years old, because then you become a teenager. And when you become a teenager, what happens? You become a little bit rebellious. You want to find things out for yourself. Your parents can tell you, hey, don't do this, but you kind of want to find out for yourself. You don't know for sure if they know what they're talking about, and experience really is king here. So the next level of this, so you can kind of find out whether you're in the child archetype, whether, it's not bad by the way, it's just being aware of your vibration in correlation with this. And if you look into authority, if you feel like you're in survival mode and you're really dependent, then you might still be in the childlike archetype. And what you can begin to do is gravitate towards one of the next levels, which a lot of people that watch my videos, I would say, warrior archetype. The warrior starts to question beliefs. The warrior starts to question the parents. And the warrior starts to go on a mission. Even if they don't know exactly what their purpose is, they know they're doing some type of self-work, some type of self-discovery. A lot of people that watch my videos realize that they're spiritual beings and that they have some type of vision for something they want to create in their life, or they have some type of vision of building something. So a lot of times as well with the warrior, it's you start to develop your own belief system, your own way of thinking. You may rebel against, your parents may say, you know, your parents may have a belief that money is bad, but you might start to say, you know what, I don't believe that. Your parents may have a lot of drama in their life, but you realize, hey, I don't want that in my life. I want to learn how to deal with that. You start to break away from the norm. And then you go into the warrior-like mentality. And for me, warrior-like mentality was probably when I went through my spiritual awakening for sure, because I started to question a lot of things in life, the whole system in general, the way reality works. But also, when I went daily on YouTube, I'd say that that's when I developed the discipline and the willpower. You know, this a lot of times will also involve willpower as well. So this is a level that many people will get to when they're in the building phase. So when they're building their empire. They don't have the empire yet, but they're building their empire. So that's where the warrior is. That's from teenager on, normally until like 35-ish. This doesn't mean that everyone fits in this. Some people will be the warrior their whole life. Some people will have been a child their whole life. Now, every level you go, you keep with it the characteristics and the knowledge of the level before. So you started a child, but when you're a warrior, you still remember what it's like to look for authority and survival, be dependent. But now you know how to go beyond that, you see? Now, the next level, there's 2 more levels. The next level is that of king or queen. King or queen. This is when you've identified your empire and you are building and you are expanding. This is when you start to, you have your own direction and gravity. Now, building a king or queen is when you're like established. The idea and the metaphor of it being a king or queen is owning property. This is like it's all metaphorical. I mean, I'm not a king or queen because I don't own a house. But it means that you're not looking. The warrior still is bound by dictatorship or somebody to tell them what to do. King and queen is more so about understanding that you have your own gravity. You have your own systems that you build. So you built systems. Maybe it's you have your job that you work, but you own a house and you have a family and you're able to then manage a family as well. So many times king and queen will involve family involved as well. You are then able to be responsible for more than just yourself. The warrior, it starts to also develop its own cause, its own belief, something to fight for. Now the king has an empire, direction, property, systems, family. This is all archetypal energy. And some of it could be literal. You might find that if you're in the king-king phase or king-queen phase or warrior, you might actually resonate with some of these things. Now, the power of everything I'm sharing with you right now is to understand what phase are you in. If you're a child, sometimes what you might need, and what I mean is the archetypal energy of a child, you may need a rite of passage to then move into warrior mode. Something that seems a little bit harsh, or something that you have to, for me it was like, okay, I have to start questioning my reality. Everyone tells me this. I don't know, I was kind of a rebel as well when I was a 17 or 18, when I turned 18. Right when I turned 18, I decided I got a job and I moved out. Wanted to be by myself, wanted that freedom. So that was me becoming I started questioning my beliefs, questioning my parents. I started to develop a mission. Even if that was my own thing, I didn't have spiritual awakening right away, but I started to build and I started to become develop a cause for myself, even if it was just my own freedom. But then king-queen phase is when I've started to build my empire. I'm starting to build what I'm doing. I really believe in it. I'm fighting for a cause. I'm starting to have my own gravity, building systems. These are all things that I'm doing. I'm building a team right now. So I'd say I'm probably in the king-queen phase, between warrior and king-queen phase for myself. And then this one right here, wise man or woman. Wise man or woman. At this level of vibration, you realize that king and queen has gotten a little bit too complicated. You want simplicity. You realize that everything you've built has been to gratify ego. And what you realize is you take with it everything that you've learned back, but you're more quiet. You're not trying to prove yourself. No, prove yourself. This is when you start to observe things a different way and you start to just become more aware. Many people will have a midlife crisis. By the way, a lot of this information I'm sharing with you right now comes from archetypal energy, but also there's a guy named Paul Chek, who I was listening to one of his podcast episodes and he was talking about this. It really resonated with me and I wanted to put this in the context of what people, all of you would resonate with versus I think his audience normally is a little bit of an older audience. And I think that I wanted to word this in a vibrational way that maybe a lot of you can understand and really relate to with all the other vibrational videos that I've made. So the wise woman or man doesn't have to prove themselves, wants simplicity, realizes all the systems that are being built is so complex. And it's been mainly to just gratify ego. I'm looking at what I do right now, and I'm like, well, I'm trying to like get out there and share this information with as many people as possible. I'm sure one day I'll look back and like, what are you trying so hard for? You know, yes, I want to impact people in a positive way, but maybe it's like you could be done just by I don't know, like meditating or something like that. But I could seeing the complexity of it. Now, each one of these is a different vibrational energy. There's a different level of gravity to it. There's a different level of confidence, of holding yourself, of wisdom. And which level are you at will depend upon where you calibrate. Now, there is something that I have built. It is called whatsmyvibration.com. You can go there. That's where you can find out where you calibrate. It's not using this exact model. It's using the scale of consciousness that you've seen me share before, and it uses different archetypal energies in its own way to show you where you currently are and how to raise your vibration and to evolve to the next level. And it shows you which meditation to listen to. People ask me all the time, Aaron, what meditation am I supposed to listen to? Because I have so many meditations. Well, this is a way. You just take the quiz, whatsmyvibration.com. And what you'll notice is that when you go there, you will see that of a quiz survey that you can take, and it will show you which meditation is the best for you, as well as send you information on how to raise your vibration to the next level. I'll send you emails showing you exactly what to do. So if that's something you want to do, you want to calibrate your vibration, you want to know which meditation will help you and facilitate you getting to the next level, you just go to whatsmyvibration.com. Now, in general, the way that you get to each individual different level is you identify where you are first. That quiz will help you to do that. But you identify, the quiz is a little bit different than this, but the idea is you must become aware of where you are. You must become aware of where you are. And maybe it sounds a little harsh, but you might be like, well, I'm living at my parents' house and I still want their validation, and I might be like 25 years old and I want to get to the next level and I've never really developed my own belief systems. Well, the key can then be to question your beliefs. Question what your parents tell you to believe about reality. Start to develop your own beliefs about it. Start to find out your mission. Go on your own mission. Start to set the intention to find out your purpose. Develop more gravity. You'll notice that if you don't have values, people will be able to walk over you. People will be able to take advantage of you. And a lot of times, people in the childlike archetype don't have a value system built up. They're just kind of on their parents' value system. And they're just being told what to do. That's why they have no boundaries. And you'll find a lot of people become challenged because they don't have their own value system. So then and the only way that you can say sometimes yes to something is if you first off know how to say no. And if people always tell you, go do this, go do this, go do this, you're like, yes, 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 yes. Well, then there's really no power in the yes because you're just doing what you're told, not autopilot mind. Now, the reason I say that is because a warrior and a king and queen, you start to have stronger boundaries. You start to have a direct focus. You start to develop willpower. If you want to get to the warrior stage, develop willpower. I started making daily videos on YouTube because I knew it would help build my willpower. So this is something that will help as well. King and queen phase is where you start to really take on more responsibility for yourself. You go beyond just yourself and you have a greater mission. Your job as the king and queen phase is to also take care of warriors. Not all of them, but this is where you have many people that own businesses because they are building their warriors. You'll see this in society as well, by the way. In society, I would say a lot of people that are in the autopilot mind in society are still in the childlike archetype. They're completely just doing what they're told. Maybe their parents aren't there anymore to tell them what to do, but their boss is telling them what to do. You see? You start to question things for yourself. You start to develop your own warrior-like mentality. And then what you find out is once you become a king or queen, you start to develop your own. You can still work for someone else, but the idea is that you have your own gravity. You have your own mission. You may have a family. You may have property. And this is where you start to build your own ecosystem, your own life design. And then wise man or woman is the one that is able to look at all of these, observe them, craves more simplicity. A lot of people that go through midlife crises, it's because they're at the king-queen phase and they don't know how to they're having an identity crisis because they're realizing all of this doesn't really make them who they are. How many kings or queens have you seen that have, you hear about in mythology that were kind of depressed? And how many rich people do you hear about of all the materialism in the world, but they're depressed? Well, it's because they haven't made the jump into the wise level of consciousness, which is more about understanding you are pure energy. You are unconditional love and bliss. So you could say as well that this is like the level of reasoning I would say this is the level of willpower. If you know that scale of consciousness I always share, this is the level of willpower. This is the level of reasoning that your beliefs create your reality and architecting your own life. And this is unconditional love and above. And this below is like, could be trauma, could be you being told what to do. It could be the bottom, lower vibrational emotions up until about 270 or 300, which is where you just accept, which would be about where it tops off. So there's a lower vibrational emotions, mid to high. That's how you can think about it. But like I said, which archetypal energy are you in? To move to the next level, you may just need to be aware of taking on a new level of identity, of letting go of the childlike identity. It's really about letting go of the level before, taking with you the information, but letting go. You might realize, oh, I've been questioning my beliefs and I've been a rebel, but now what I need to do is let go of that and I need to start to develop my own mentality. Like me, when I started doing daily videos and I started building my vision, and I knew that if I simply stayed consistent to it, it would eventually it would come to fruition. And then eventually it might involve me letting go of the kingdom, of the empire, of the team and everything, or at least attaching to it, and then realizing it's more so about the higher levels of consciousness, you see? So everyone in their life will be somewhere within this range. And the key is being aware of it and then learning how to transcend to the next level. So now you understand a little bit more about what this is, but like I said, if you go to whatsmyvibration.com, I'll link it below as well, you can calibrate your vibration, and also you can calibrate your vibration and then get the meditation and the plans as to how you can raise yourself to the next level. So with that being said, like this video. I know it's a little more esoteric or a little more different than usual. Like this video if you liked it. It'll let me do more like this. Also hit the notification bell if you haven't already, because I've got a lot more good stuff coming. I'm excited to share it with you. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace, much love, and namaste.